That's an incredibly letting go of an ego is an incredibly important part. That's probably the reason I was slower to adapt than Carl has been, is my ego gets in the way. And I just put up a new post on the blog, which I don't put up new posts very often. And one of the things that I tried to address in that post is the current, what I call FOMO investments, fear of missing out investments, like GameStop as an example. And one of the things with GameStop, I think, is that it's going to wind up, most people invested are going to wind up in tears. But the fact will remain that some people will have been made millionaires by their investment in GameStop. And so it's not unreasonable for people to say, well, yes, even if most people lose money, the potential in something like that is for me to suddenly become a millionaire. And so why not take the chance? And part of my answer is, well, twofold. One is the odds are against you that you will be one of those. But even more important, even if you are one of the lucky few, you probably won't recognize that you're one of the lucky few. You will attribute it, because of ego that we all have, to your superior skill in playing this game. And that means, in all likelihood, you're probably going to play the game even more aggressively going forward. And so you're probably going to give all that money back and then some. A post I wrote just before the last one, which was a couple months ago in February, was about one of my big investment mistakes. And I lost 50 grand in it. And in the early 1990s, I think it was the early 19, actually late 80s, early 90s, something like that. And sometimes I think, as painful as it was to lose the 50 grand, had that stock worked out in the magnificent way that it had the potential to work out, I probably would have, my ego would have run away with my skill, and I would have lost much bigger amounts of money playing the game further. This is the reason, and I talk about this in the post, this is the reason that casinos do so well. They actually pay out in winnings most of the money that comes in through bets. So they make huge profit margins with just a small sliver of the take, if you will. And the other thing they know that's a little more insidious is even those people who do win, who walk out, are very likely to come back and very likely to give it back and then some over time. So there you go. You're right. Ego is one of the biggest risks that any investor has.